Hey, welcome back to the homestead. It is late April, early in the morning here, and I'm down here in the orchard. Not the main orchard, but I'm in the subtropical orchard here. And we're gonna start here and then head over to the main orchard. You guys can see what's been going on here lately. There's been some huge growth explosions. There's a lot of fruit, and it's just pretty much awesome. So let's take a look. Well, we could start right where I was standing next to the dwarf mulberry bushes, I guess you could call them, or trees. And these things have a lot of fruit on them. And some's been ripening and we've been eating that. And there's more still yet to ripe. And these growth is exploding upwards. So that is 7 foot tall probably. And these are, this side's 6 feet tall, those tips. So these are pretty awesome. I'd like to get one more of these so we can get even more harvests. Let's see, there's a ripe one there, if it will focus. But yeah, these are really tasty little fruits. Real sweet, almost no tart. Here's our Satsuma mandarin. This has got great growth. Now this is pushing up towards 5 feet, the tallest branch coming up there. It's done pretty good. Did have some of these like leaf miners, I think, or I'm not sure exactly what, but there's some leaf curl there. But a lot of the newer growth doesn't have that. That had happened a few months ago, so it pushed through. Let's head over and check the reed avocado, and you can see this has got 2 leaders heading up, 1 and 2. And this thing's quickly approaching 4 feet over here. This is probably 3.5. And down here you can see it's got its nice thick trunk. Let's see, can you see that right there? It's thick trunk, and it's heading up with 2 trunks. So this one's doing really good, putting off nice growth. See those tips? That's the new growth there. Got that kind of brownish color as they send out new growth. Reed avocados go pretty vertical, or pretty tall growers, not super wide and bushy. So this is great for this area because we got that orange tree right behind it. Over to the lime tree, just exploding in growth. It almost got me by surprise how much it's bushed out and how much growth it's really got. It's now, let's see, it's now over 6 feet tall right there at the tallest point. It's easily 6 feet wide. We've been eating limes off here. This is a bear's lime. So it's ever-bearing. It just kind of keeps pushing fruit out. So really stoked on that. Let's see, I don't recall if these are pretty new. I don't recall if they've been in an update yet, but we've got a Eureka lemon here, and it hasn't really done great. Since it's been in, I need to get some heavy mulching down there. Haven't got into that yet, but that's on the list next. Hasn't really done much, so that's just kind of waiting to take off, establishing roots. And then we've got the Meyer lemon over here, kind of the same story. It got put in and hasn't really taken off yet. Needs some mulch down there. You can see the weeds are there, so that's not good. We got to catch up on that. Hopefully these will have some pretty solid growth because that lime tree was like that just about 2 years ago. So let's see what they can do. Haas avocado. And this one bloomed and it's setting fruits. There's one there. And this has a number of fruit setting. And probably, I guess we'll keep most of them because this plant's already over 6 feet tall. See that tip there? That's like almost 7 feet. So it's getting good growth. I think we can just leave the fruits on. And it has a nice, pretty decent trunk here. And it's not staked. The stake's been out for a while, so it's pretty sturdy overall. And then, so yeah, there's the mulberries. Now this is the oldest avocado we have, and this thing's getting a really good fruit set right now. There's a decent sized one, but you can, they're small, but you can see there's a lot of them on here. Look up here. There's some more there. There's more there. Look down here. They're all over the place. I don't know if this thing can hold this much if all these come out and actually stay on and they don't drop. I don't know if this thing can hold that much weight, but it's pretty decent branch system in here, pretty strong. But look how much fruit is on this thing setting. It's pretty crazy. It's actually surprising me. I've never really grown an avocado tree on my own and kept an eye on it, you know, through each phase and stage. So just a massive amount of fruit. So pretty darn stoked on that. Let's turn around and check out the Fuerte avocado. It's right here. It's putting on some good growth lately. I think it's gonna really explode right now because these Fuertes, they go in bursts. And you can see that, you know, reddish brownish new growth at the tip, so that's pushing up. That's the new growth. It bloomed. It did set some fruits, so we'll see. We'll decide to keep these or not. I'm not really sure how much this one can support. It's a little it's not lanky, but see the trunk down there? That goes up and then it splits here and has a split point that it did on its own. So it's not the strongest. It's just barely staked. It's not really staked, but it is, but it's not much. There's a string there just kind of holding it to this. It's not like it's got a bunch of, you know, it's not tied off all up and down. It's just one spot holding, because it would just tip over. And turning over here, let's go to the, this is the Kumquat. This is a Miwa Kumquat. And it's starting to do better. It got a little slow. It did get hit by the pests, the leaf miners, I think, but it's slowly growing now, and it's like 4 feet taller. So, and it did put off some fruits. We already ate one of them, and really tasty. So, a total of 3 fruits that it bloomed, and it set 3. By the time I noticed those, they were already formed, so I just left them on. But normally I'd pick them and not let them live so they can focus on roots and growth. Now we're going to a new addition here. If you keep up with the shorts, you saw this one a little while back. This is a Pinkerton avocado, and got it, 2-3 weeks ago, and got it in the ground, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So it's looking all right. It had a little damage on it at the nursery, so they gave me a deal on it, but it was the last Pinkerton they had, so I had to swoop it up. So with Pinkerton, Fuerte, Haas, and the reed over there, we've now got a pretty decent variety for sort of more of a year-round harvest. So that's why we don't just get all Haas avocados, because we want to have them ripening at different times throughout the year. So stuff like Fuerte is more winter, reed is late summer into fall, and Pinkerton is also winter, I believe. So we're gonna try to add at least one more avocado. They're just really good food producers, and they give something that's hard to get out of an orchard or a garden, which is fatty foods, and fatty foods are really important. So yeah, we're gonna try and get at least one more avocado. But yeah, let's head down to the main orchard now. And on the main orchard, on the way to the main orchard, here's the strawberry guava. And so these are doing all right. They bloomed. Maybe we get some fruits. Actually, there's already been some fruits the kids have eaten, but some new growth. That darker growth is the tips coming up, so that's cool. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and walk around the swale here. And yeah, so now we're heading into the main orchard of all the stone fruit, apples, all that stuff. And so right off the bat, let's see, we've got a Santa Barbara peach here. Check this out. This has got quite a bit of fruit on here, ripening up. Pretty awesome. You can see the size. You know, not huge fruit, but we'll see, you know, hopefully it's tasty fruit. I did thin this down quite a bit. I guess I could thin it even more. These two are close together. And yeah, we'll decide. This one, you know, I don't know if it's strong enough to support a lot of this weight, but if they just stay that size and don't really get a lot bigger, it should be okay. We've had some heavy winds and it's done all right, so that's pretty awesome. Then we've got the mid-pride peach. Not a whole lot of fruit on it, but it's got some, so that's cool. Maybe around 10, not really sure. And then we got the May Pride, doesn't do much. Hopefully this thing will at some point take off, but not much now. Then the August Pride, really good vegetative growth, but not many fruit on here. There's like this cluster here, which probably needs to get thinned down because they're so close together. And that's like kind of it. There's a couple over here, and you know, one or two down there, but overall it's not a whole lot on this one. The sun just popped out, so look at that, amazing lighting. Now we're over to the apricot. It's got the gold kissed, and it's not really set a whole lot of fruit, but it does have massive amount of growth, a lot of vigorous growth here. So gonna need to give this one a haircut soon, do some spring pruning, which I just trim all those tall tips and just kind of even it out and give it a nice haircut. Not really structural or, you know, shaping or anything. We leave that for the winter pruning, but just take it down, you know, knock down the huge size on it. And then the Katy apricot doesn't have any fruit. And then of course the Tropical Gold apricot was just planted a few months ago, so no fruit, but look at the structure on that. It's growing out really nice. So let's go check out where there's some more fruit now. Now we're over to the cherries, and this is what I'm really excited about. This is the mini royal cherry, and there's a cherry right there. See that? So super stoked. We did have a total of 2 cherries on this one. We ate one already. That's on a short that's come out, so you can check that out. But there's one there, and then this is the Royal Lee cherry. Did not set any fruit really. Well, actually, let's go over here. It tried to. Let me see. There's one. You see that little tiny little fruit there? I'll see if that ends up being anything. But it tried to do that in like maybe 1 or 2 spots. But that one's getting tall, but this one's even taller. This is now 8-9 feet. So I've got to go ahead and. So there's the bottom, and then boom, it just exploded up. I've got to trim this one pretty soon. I'll probably do that this weekend. This whole section over here, well, I will show you some apples, but first we're gonna be to the nectarines. There's a plum here. It's gotten really tall as well, no fruit. So I'm gonna have to tone that down. And then we're gonna head over to the nectarines. The Desert Delight nectarines really impressed me. Lot of fruit on this one. Lots of fruit, and it does seem to be ripening up, so that's nice. I have thinned this down quite a bit, and it's still pretty loaded with fruit for such a young tree. This tree was planted along with most of the trees 2 years ago, or just you know, 2 years and 2 months or so. It was January of 2020. So look at that. Would you just look at all that fruit there? This one's probably got, if I had to guess, 30, maybe 40 fruit on it. Something like that. And then the last of the stone fruit that's got some fruit on it is the Arctic Star nectarine. And this one doesn't have a whole lot of fruit on it. It's got maybe a total of between 10 and 20. And the growth's decent on it. We want this to really set up more structure because overall it's not really even. There's the open center. Some fruit there. So yeah, we're more concerned with this one getting good structure, but if that fruit can ripen, then heck, we'll eat that too. All right, heading over to the apples, but on the way, this is the all-in-one almond. And look at that, you can see there's the fruit set on it. So hopefully these will go to maturity and we'll try out some almonds. Never had that before off a tree, so pretty stoked. Now let me flip the camera around and show you the aprium. I believe this is a Flavor Delight aprium. Now this one went in a year ago, a little over a year ago, and we pruned it down to that stick formation. And just look what it's done. It's caught up. It's actually passed a lot of the trees that are over a year older than it. It's actually passed them by. So it just shows you that you do not want to be scared of pruning, and you want to really prune them the right way the first time, because that sets the tone. Because this thing's now 7 feet tall. And from when it was first pruned, there's the middle of the center, so back out, that was like 28 inches or something off the ground. So it's really exploded in growth. I love that pruning method, and we're gonna stick with that. All right, so apple time. This would be the Gala apple, and I didn't even see these until now. Those were hiding. It's got a couple apples on it, 1 and 2, but we really want this thing to branch out with a little more growth. We don't care about the apples too much. Might just have to pull those off soon. And then the last one with some fruit is the Dorset Golden. And look at all that. So this one's got quite a bit for such a small tree. And it was actually thinned down pretty heavily as well. Look at that. How about them apples? So this thing is only 4 feet max. It's pretty small. Look at that lighting though. Wonderful morning lighting. So yeah, there's your Dorset Golden apple, setting some fruits off. Pretty stoked. So that's where we're at in the orchards as the spring season takes off, and we just get some growth explosions. So stay tuned and keep an eye on the channel. You can see start to get some harvests off these trees. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.